Are you unwittingly ordering male genitalia in restaurants? Let's fix this problem. I'm going to give you 5 common mistakes that I hear when I'm out and about in my community that English speakers are making when they're trying to practice their Spanish with Spanish speakers. So grab your Spanish notebook and your pen and let's get into it. The first one is sopa versus jabón. Sopa sounds like soap, it looks like soap, but it ain't soap. Sopa means soup. You know, the kind that you make when you're cold or the kind that you order in a restaurant before your meal. So if you ask for the sopa del dia, then you're good to go. But if you need to go potty in the same restaurant and you get to the bathroom and you realize there's no soap in the bathroom to wash your hands, then you're not going to ask for sopa. You're going to ask for jabón. And notice that the J in the word jabón sounds like the English H in the word hat. So if you're hungry, you're going to order sopa. If you need to wash your hands or clean your body, then you're going to order jabón. Okay, let's get to the next one. This mistake tickles me to no end. Año versus ano. And I heard this one a lot over the past month. I cannot express enough how important that little squiggly line over the Spanish in is. That squiggly line is called a tilde for whoever wants to know. And mixing up the regular Spanish in with the Spanish in with the tilde on top can be unfortunately hilarious. Here's why. Año with the squiggly on top means year. Ano with no squiggly on top of the N means anus. So you'll definitely want to say Feliz Año Nuevo instead of Feliz Ano Nuevo. One means Happy New Year, and the other one means Happy New Anus. The N without the squiggly has a similar sound to the English N. The N with the tilde on top sounds like the NY in the word canyon. And that word canyon is a word that was borrowed from Spanish, but that's a whole nother video. So the N with the squiggly on top sounds like this, año. That means year. The N without the squiggly sounds like this, ano, and that means anus. And if you like bite-sized Spanish tips like this, please hit the like button. Thank you. Here's the next one, papa versus papa. There's only a subtle difference. Let's break it down. This is a very common mistake that I hear English speakers making at the market and even in restaurants where I live. But it's so common that Spanish speakers don't even flinch. Papa, without the accent, means potato. Papa, with the accent, means dad. For potato, you want to keep the sounds in both syllables exactly the same and say them quick. Papa, papa. But for daddy, that last syllable has a slanted line over the A, and that slanted line is called an accent, and it makes all the difference in the pronunciation of that word. You want to make sure you're holding that last syllable for an extra beat. So it sounds like this, papa, papa. So if you want a potato, you would say papa. And if you want a daddy, you would say papa. And here's another mistake that I hear often at restaurants. And this mistake is honest because in English, we only have one way to say both of these things. Pez versus pescado. Pez and pescado, they both mean fish, but there's a huge difference in Spanish. You don't want to order a pez at a restaurant because a pez refers to a fish that is still alive. You know, like the kind that's in the ocean, that's in a lake, that's in a pond. And notice that the Z on pez sounds like the English S. Pez. So in a restaurant, you want your fish to be dead on your plate. Whether you eat it raw or fried or baked or grilled, you want it dead. So you want to call it pescado and not pez because a pez is Nemo. Okay, now here's the last one. So please pay attention. I've gone to too many chicken shacks and restaurants where I hear English speakers ordering polla instead of pollo. And we got to get this one right. We can't be walking around and ordering pollas all over town. Pollo, pollo, with the O at the end, means chicken. And notice that the double L sounds like an English Y sound. In some countries, it sounds a little bit different, but again, that's a whole nother video. Let's keep it nice and simple for this one. The word is Pollo. Pollo. It means chicken. It's the kind of thing that you would order fried or grilled or on a salad, or it's the kind of thing that you would eat on a Sunday with some ají verde. It's edible. However, the other one is not edible. Polla, with the A at the end, is a vulgar term in countries like Spain, and it refers to the male member. In English, some folks call it the D. The differences are pollo, the kind that you eat, and polla, the other kind. And here's the thing, polla can also mean other things, like a young hen, it can mean awesome, a lottery, and I think it's even like an alcoholic beverage here in Mexico. Just be aware that if you say polla, someone could be interpreting it any number of ways. Right? People in the Spanish speaking world, they watch Netflix, so they see films from different Spanish speaking countries and they're aware of explicit and vulgar terms in other countries. So learn the appropriate word for chicken. So you want to make sure that you're ordering pollo, with the O at the end when you go to restaurants. Learning a new language as an expat, immigrant, or traveler can be fun and challenging, but it can also be embarrassing and hilarious. The question is, what are you going to do when you make a mistake? Will you allow the natural process of making mistakes get you down? Will you allow it to make you give up on learning the language entirely? Or will you just do like Aaliyah and brush it off and try again and keep pushing? You have to make that decision. I think you can do it. Sí se puede. When you're making those mistakes and you're learning from them, you are growing. I want to encourage you to make as many mistakes as you possibly can and write them down and come back and review them often because that is where the learning is. That is where you're going to grow. If you want to support me or my channel, please hit the like button and subscribe and tell a friend who's constantly making mistakes in Spanish about my channel. Hasta luego.